everyone, and welcome back, my beautiful candy canes. So today we are going to talk about the latest episode of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, rose-covered glasses. And as always, I'm your girl, Candy Washington, as always. And as always, I always have a different perspective or a different take sometimes on what the girls are doing, what goes down, and what happens. So I'm going to go through what I really think is going on with them calling Sutton a liability, why I really think they're trying to get Garcelle against Sutton, and what I really think why Kyle and Dorit and Rinna want Erika to rein it in. I'll give you the reason of why I think they really want to do that. But as you guys come in, be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and share with a friend, because a key is always better with community. So that's right, go ahead and share and like with a friend. So let's get into it. All right. So first up, let's talk about the Dorit and PK story again, because I feel like it was very brushed under the rug, put together in a very nice and neat bow, and it kind of just got glazed over. Like, is anybody buying that PK didn't get off with this DUI and this whole situation? Is anybody buying that Dorit was actually mad at him? Like, I didn't buy that. I didn't think it was real. That was crazy. But anyway, old news. Let's get into it. So the reason why I think Rinna and Kyle, I would put in there too, and Dorit, really want Erika to rein it in when it comes to her drinking and popping meds isn't so much because they are worried about Erika, because again, I think, I forgot what they call themselves, like the Fancy Four or like the Foxy Four or whatever it's called, right? I think that is an alliance. That's a group that's an alliance. I don't think they're actually friends. And I actually think it's only 3 of them. I think the core people is Rinna, Erika, and Dorit. And I think they pretend that Kyle is the 4th. They pretend that Kyle's a part of the group because they know that it's basically Kyle's show. Kyle basically acts as another executive. She's an OG, all of that stuff. But do I think they actually like Kyle? No. Do I think that they keep Kyle in the loop when it comes to every, pact or every front or every storyline they're going to concoct? No. I think that they only loop Kyle in just enough so she stays an ally with them, but not actually a friend of theirs. I think the true group is Dorit, Rinna, and Erika for like their little thing. So the reason why I think that, and again, and they have already said this because people always tell them themselves, they've already admitted that they will not drink a lot, or if they see one of them drinking too much, they'll kind of be like, hey, like, rein it in a little bit, because they want to be very controlled and very contrived with what they say on TV, with what they say on the show. So they have this pact, because if you remember last season, when I think they all went to, I want to say Aspen or something like that, and Kathy Hilton was going to play the joke about taking the shots. So I think the real reason why they gave each other the heads up about I'm not actually drinking, I'm not really drinking this much, is because they all have the pact of we're not going to drink too much. We want to stay in control of the narrative. We want to stay in control of what the storyline is. So they've already had this pact about not drinking too much and about getting together and coming up with who they're going to attack and what the storylines are going to be. Hey, Randa Diva. She goes, it was the Fox Force 5. Dorit, Kyle, Lisa, Erika, and Teddy. With Teddy gone, it's now the Fox 4-4. Right. Okay, right. So I know that it's the Fox Force 4 now. But what I'm saying is, I think they say that. But what I think is that the true core pack group is Dorit, Erika, and Rinna. I think those are the 3 who maybe not, I think even this season, but who truly get together. Hey, Misty. How are you, sweetheart? What's up? Yes. But I think those are the three that are the ones who get together to create storylines and to have the whole thing. Right. Yes. So I know they're called the Fox. Okay. Let me know if you guys are following me on this. I know that that's what they called themselves. And I know that's who they're saying the group is, right? But what I'm saying is, in reality, right? I think the real people who have the true alliance is Erika, Rinna, and Dorit. I think outside of Kyle and Teddy and everybody else, the three of them have gotten together and decided these are the things we're going to talk about. These are the things we're not going to talk about. We're not going to drink too much. We don't get out of pocket, blah, 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 blah. Obviously, this season, that's kind of coming apart. So sure, they have this front of the Fox 5, and then Teddy's gone. Now it's the Fox 4. Hey, Vodka, what's up, sweetheart? How are you? Hey. But I think behind the scenes, this is the really core group. And this is why I think that particularly Rinna and Dorit are having such an issue with Erika drinking and mixing meds. I don't think it's so much because they're so concerned and so worried about Erika. What I think is really going on is that they are concerned and worried that Erika is going to drink and mix the meds and spill their secrets. So I don't think it's altruistic. I don't think that Rinna and Dorit and even Kyle are so concerned about Erika's drinking and so concerned about, and you know what, I'll actually kind of leave Kyle out of it because again, sure, I think they have this front name, Fox 5, Fox 4, whatever. But if you really watch the show, the true pact has always been between Dorit, Rinna, and Erika. They'll loop Kyle in and do whatever because they kind of have to kiss up to her because it's essentially like, you know, her show, she's an OG, all that stuff. But that has really been the core group, the core packed group is what I'm saying. I'm not saying they're the most liked. I'm not saying that they're the most authentic. I'm saying that's the true group. And I think the reason why Kyle is like, oh, I like having Rinna loosen up and blah, blah, blah. Well, Kyle is up Erika's butt because of that whole, you know, $27 billion lawsuit that Erika and Tom Girardi and Kyle's husband, Mauricio, and Kathy's husband, Rick Hilton, are all named in. So I think it's more like, you know what, let me kind of chummy up to Erika since we're all being sued by the same person. Because last season, Kyle was singing a different tune. But now that there's this $27 billion lawsuit against all of them, now all of a sudden she wants to be chummy with Erika. And now all of a sudden Mauricio is like, oh, Erika, let me hook you up with my NFL player friend. Oh, I like seeing this side of Erika. Why? Because you're all defendants in the same $27 billion lawsuit and you're being sued by the same people. Now you want to be in allegiance. See, you got to watch what's really going on, right? You got to watch what's really going on. And so that's what I think. And so I think the real reason why Rinna and Dorit want Erika to rein in the drinking and the popping the pills is because they don't want her to slip up and tell their secrets, right? They don't want them to slip up and tell their secrets because what Rinna is really good at, what Dorit is really good at, what Erika is trying to be good at is pointing their finger at everybody else so nobody looks at their own stuff, right? Rinna doesn't want them talking about the husbands because she doesn't want people talking about the fact that Harry Hamlin allegedly beat up. So, okay, this is alleged. I'll just say alleged, but you guys can Google this. Mr. Harry Hamlin allegedly was dating this other actress. And this is like back in the day, like 90s, 80s, I don't know, 80s, 90s maybe. Was dating this other actress. He was cheating on her with Lisa Rinna. The girl found out, broke up with him, and they got in a fight. Allegedly, Harry Hamlin beat this woman, and he gave her the R word. He R'd her. She wanted to tell. Lisa Rinna then intimidated this woman, threatened this woman, was like, you're never going to work again. I'm going to have all these executive against you. Because remember, Harry Hamlin is a big deal actor. Lisa Rinna was doing her thing. This other girl's an actress too. This girl was so scared, she quit acting in the business altogether. And I'm saying alleged, but I believe it. I think it's true. So Lisa Rinna doesn't want us talking about that. She wants us talking about everybody else. Dorit doesn't want us talking about all of the lawsuits and how everybody's calling her and PK drifters and con artists and scam people. Clearly, Erika doesn't want people talking about all of her, fraudulent activities, being sued for $27 billion and all of the victims, which she can't help anymore because that came out publicly, right? So I think the three of them really had the pact. Publicly, they had this sort of like Fab Four, Force Five, whatever. But behind the scenes, when you really look at the situation, the true pact has always been between the three of them. So I think the reason why Dorit and Rinna don't want Erika getting drunk and doing all this stuff is because they're like, well, you're getting drunk and telling your secrets and being sloppy. It's only a matter of time before you get drunk and you start spilling my secrets and getting sloppy. Because a part of their whole pact, remember the Aspen trip, a part of their whole pact is they don't drink too much. And if they see somebody else drinking too much, they have different signals to be like, hey, rein it in. You're on camera. So that's what I really think is going on with Rinna and Dorit trying to rein in Erika. They don't want her spilling their tea. Loose lips sink ships. That's what I really think is going on there. Let's just see what you guys are saying. Hey! Rhonda says, I'm following what you're saying. Why don't you think Kyle's not a part of the core group? Okay, the reason why I don't think Kyle is a part of the core group is because I don't think they really like Kyle like that. To be honest, I think that they use Kyle. I think Dorit likes Kyle. I don't think Rinna likes Kyle. And if you look at the group dynamics, Rinna is really the one running the show when it comes to that group. So much to the point that in a couple of episodes, if not the next episode, Kyle is going to turn on her own sister, Kathy. Well, Kyle always turns on her sister, right? But she's going to turn on Kathy in favor of Rinna. So Rinna is really the one in that group running the show. It looks like it's Kyle from the front, but it's really Rinna running that show. If Kyle is going to go against her own sister, and we're not talking about, Loopy Kim, we're talking about wealthy, powerful Kathy. If Kyle is willing to go against wealthy, powerful Kathy in favor of Rinna, then who's really running the show? I just don't think the girls really respect and really like Kyle like that. I think they front that they do because, Kyle is an OG. Kyle kind of is a producer on the show. But I don't think they really like her like that, if that makes sense. Hey, Miss T, they need a new name. They need a new everything. And did you guys notice in this episode, there was no Kyle, there was no Diana, and there was no Crystal? I didn't miss any of them. They could just not show up for the rest of the season, and I think we'd be okay. Hey, Miss T, Kyle is just there. Exactly, because they get together and they contrive all this stuff. It's crazy. Miss T, keep Erika drunk and happy. Right, but they're worried that she's going to get drunk and happy and start spilling their secrets and start spilling their tea. That's what the true concern is. I don't think they have a true concern about Erika's reputation because at this point she doesn't have one. I don't think they're really that concerned about her well-being. It's like, don't you drink one too many and start telling my secrets. Because when you're that loopy and if you're that drunk and it's not just for show, it's only a matter of time before you start spilling other people's stuff. Hey, Misty, Kyle is so boring. They like her because of her sister. Exactly. They like Kyle because of who Kyle is, not because of her. You know what I mean? And I think they're the ones who really have the pact. Now, let's get into the liability thing. Okay, let me go to these comments, and then I'll tell you what I think the whole Sutton is a liability comment really means, and what and why they're going to Garcelle with this. Okay, I'll tell you what I think this really is, because I haven't really heard anybody really see it from a lens of strategy, right? Okay, Miss T says Harry did what? Oh my god, yes, yes. Google, you guys have to Google it. I forgot the actress's name, and again, I'm gonna say alleged, but yes, there's this whole story. There's a lot of stories about Harry. Also, remember how Rinna was trying to clearly get above the story of, and again, I'm saying this respectfully because I don't really care about people's sexuality. Do you? Be you. Love is love. But there's have been always rumors about Harry's sexuality. And then remember, was it earlier this season where she was trying to get ahead of it by being like, "Oh, Harry has long nails because he plays guitar." But there was all the rumors that actually Harry was cross-dressing and he was up in Canada living his best life with not his wife and maybe men. You know what I mean? Like that Harry is, maybe a little fluid and he was dressing up and that's why he had the long nails, not because he was playing guitar, but because he was, dressing, And so she was trying to get ahead of it with this whole, oh, Harry's nails because he plays guitar. It's like you're trying to plan a story to justify why your husband has his nails done. You got to really watch these people. You got to watch these people. Again, this is all alleged, and this is no disrespect to LGBTQIA or trans or any of that. No disrespect at all. But the rumors are the rumors. And you're giving validity to the rumors because you're coming up with these fake rationales that don't make sense. And it's like, is that why you're so angry, Rinna? Oof, you're so angry. Ms. T, Erika's a sloppy drunk too. Erika won't tell since she has that huge ring. Erika won't tell since she still has that huge ring. Her wearing that Cartier ring was so distasteful, tone deaf, and disgusting. And that just shows you, no, Erika, you don't need to be a dominatrix. You don't need to have a pretty mess dungeon. You need to be in a jail cell. You need to go to jail. You need to go to jail, Erika, for all of the people that you exploited, for all of the money you stole, not Tom Girardi, not this, that you did. Erika is guilty as sin, and it makes me sick even watching her at this point. It really does. Miss T, Kyle does stuff just to be seen. Kathy and Kyle have never been super close. Yep. And when Mauricio poached the people from Kathy's husband's thing or whatever, Miss T, I thought all the ladies had C9 so couldn't film. Right? Yeah. No, I'm saying they weren't there. They had C9 so they couldn't film. What I'm saying is I didn't miss them filming. Like I didn't miss them. You know what I mean? Like they were all. I think maybe Crystal was exposed to it. Yeah, but it was all a C9 issue. But like I didn't miss them. Hey, Vaca. Oh, that's what Kim was talking about. Let's talk about the husbands. Yup, that the man. Exactly. And then you saw how Rinna lost her mind. She went crazy. She touched Kim on her face. She did the whole glass shattering thing. It's like, why are you doing all of these huge, ridiculous things to shut down and distract from the conversations about the husbands, right? Because the rumors have been there about Harry, and the rumors have been there about what he did to that woman. And again, this is my opinion. Everything's alleged, but I believe it. I believe it 100%. Miss T, what do you think about Sheree? She really isn't helping Garcelle. I was disappointed in her this episode. Like previously, I was really feeling her, but this episode, she gave at Rinna's house. She gave a little bit of pick-me vibes. Kind of like, like giving the eyes with Rinna and with Erika when it came to Sutton and Garcelle. She was giving a little bit of pick-me vibes. Not necessarily that I think she wants to go against Garcelle. I don't think that. I think more so she wants to replace Sutton. That's more of the vibes I got from Sheree. That it's not so much that she wants to be picked over Garcelle or that she wants to, not be there for Garcelle, but more so that she wants to replace Sutton. She wants to be Garcelle's BFF. She wants the diamond. And I think in her mind, she thinks that her probability of getting it is by replacing Sutton, if that makes sense. Because if you look at it, Sheree and Sutton don't really interact that much. Do you know what I mean? Hey, Randa, she's laughing. Hey, Miss D, Harry wears acrylic nails because he's a rock star. Duh. Hey, rock star. Oh, I love it. 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 Hey, Miranda. She's also lost her mind in this episode when she said no one can talk about her husband and children. She lost her damn mind. She lost her damn mind. To be honest, she's the one who throws her own children under the bus. She talks about their depression, anxiety, eating disorders, all this stuff. She's the one who does it. She talks about her own kids. And Rinna, you're not off limits. Oh, and I'll get to the whole liability thing because I have a different perspective on why they're saying she's a liability. Baka says, oh, I absolutely believe that they're evil as heck. Yes, they are. 100%. Misty, Erika is still drinking and saying she is not drinking. At first, I kind of thought, you know what? Both can be true. At first, I was like, Erika is kind of fronting a little bit with this whole like boozy, drunk, blah, 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 blah. I think both are true. I think she's popping the meds. I think she's drinking. I'm tired of her talking about getting the D and sex and all this stuff. Like, you're a broken record, Erika. Like, I don't want to hear about you. The only thing I want to hear about Erika is in an orange jumpsuit and going to jail. That's the only thing I want to hear about Erika. Go to jail, Erika. Go to jail. You defrauded how many people out of their money? You're walking around with a Cartier ring. You still have your glam squad. You're living in a multi-million-dollar house in West Hollywood. Miss me, Erika. You're not a victim. No one needs to feel bad for you. Like, I can't believe how Bravo, Andy, the castmates, the world is somehow pretending like it's okay that Erika is still just out here doing her thing. That's not okay. She literally stole money from victims for years. She's facing a $27 billion lawsuit, and we're walking around being like, oh, I like that. Erika's getting drunk and loopy. Like, what the hell? What is going on? Hey, Randa, she won't replace Sutton. Sutton has proven herself. Oh, no, she won't. No, she won't. I wouldn't mind her joining, but not replacing Sutton. But I think sometimes that's how people think. They think, oh, well, if I'm going to be Garcelle's BFF, if I'm going to get a diamond, then it means somebody else has to go. You know, sometimes people have that mentality where it's like, well, where do I fit in? If there's only so many diamonds, whose diamond do I get? Some people have that type of mentality, but I agree. She's definitely not going to replace Sutton. Hey, Vaca, they need to get into their heads that Sutton is not going anywhere. She's not. Miss T, yep, Erika has lost her mind at that dinner too, but about her overgrown son. Exactly. Okay, let's quickly get into the liability thing, right? So this is what I think the whole liability situation with Sutton and Erika and all that stuff is, okay? Let's get into that. What I think Erika was really trying to do with Garcelle and with Sutton, with calling Sutton a liability. Follow me with this. What they mean by Sutton being a liability is that Sutton is smart, Sutton has money and means, Sutton brings receipts, and Sutton isn't afraid to ask the real questions when it comes to these ladies' shady and fraudulent businesses. That is what Erika actually meant by calling Sutton a liability. She's a liability because she has money and means. She speaks up. She brings the receipts. And she's not afraid to go against us. She's not afraid to say, hey, I talked to my lawyer when everything went down. Hey, I have lawyer friends. Hey, I did this. Oh, really, Rinna? You want to say that I didn't pay for the John Elton tickets? Here's the receipts. Here's the email printout that I paid for that, right? And if you notice, did you catch this? Because they always tell on themselves. Did you catch that what Erika said to Garcelle was, yeah, you know, Sutton's a liability. You know, last season it was me. This season it's Diana. Why would she single out Diana? And why did Diana come so hard out the gate for Sutton? Is it because, again, behind the scenes, Rinna and Erika are getting in Diana's ear? Because remember, Rinna and Diana are the ones who are actually friends, not Diana and Kathy. That's just a fake storyline the producers made up. The real friends are Rinna and Diana. So did Rinna and Erika get in Diana's ear and be like, you need to watch out because allegedly, again, Diana is scum of the earth. I'm just gonna say it. I don't care. She's scum of the earth. Allegedly, she's a child sex trafficker and a woman sex trafficker. Robbie Downer, again, you guys can Google this stuff. Alleged, but she's a scum of the earth, and it's disgusting to watch, and I'm happy she wasn't on the show. Robbie Downey Jr. came out with an expose talking about the child sex trafficking ring and all of that stuff that was going on with like Corey Haim, Amanda Bynes, Lindsay Lohan, what was it, Hayden Panettiere, and all that stuff. And her whole book, Room 23, was basically just a book of all of her high-end escort clients that she was trafficking to the international businessmen with all the money. And it's this huge thing that, that Diana has given all this money to politicians, to famous people, but behind the scenes, she's supplying children. And when I say children, I mean children and women for sex and whatever else they were doing to these wealthy, high-profile men. I'm going to say alleged, but just do a simple Google search and it all comes up. So I'm kind of confused how Bravo can justify keeping a person who has been accused of human trafficking, being a pimp. I'm not going to call her a madam. She's a pimp. You pimp people out for money and children on a show. It's crazy. So I think Rinna and Erika got in Diana ear being like, listen, you have a lot of skeletons in the closet. Sutton is the one on the show. She came after Erika. She was like, well, I talked to my lawyers and I know this is this, that, and the third. And I know about an LLC and I know about this, and this. And I'm not afraid to ask the questions and to tell the truth and do whatever. I think they got in her ear and be like, Sutton's going to be the one that's going to, poke questions about how you got your money, where you got your money from, what is really going on about book 23 or room 23 book, What are the rumors about you being a madam, a pimp? What are the rumors about you, selling out these young people for money and sex? Where did your husband get his money from? How did you meet your husband? Oh, I heard you actually met your husband because you were an escort and he ended up marrying you, and the two of you had this whole ring of people. Where do you really get your money from? So when they say Sutton is a liability, that's actually what they mean. They don't mean Sutton's a liability to Garcelle. They mean Sutton's a liability to us, to our lies, to our corruption, to our fraud, to our exploitation. Sutton's a liability to us because she actually has money, she actually has means, she comes with receipts, and she asks the real questions. The only reason why they went to Garcelle is because Garcelle is the number one person that Sutton is actually friends with, and Garcelle is truly loyal to Sutton. So I think they got together and said, if we can break up Garcelle and Sutton, that is our best chance of taking Sutton down if she stands alone. And I am so happy. And Garcelle for the MVP win was like, not on my watch, homie. Sutton is my actual friend. I am loyal to her. She is loyal to me. Why are you coming to me with the BS? And I'm really happy that Garcelle did it on camera, and I'm really happy that Sutton addressed it in front of everybody in the room. That's what they really meant by Sutton is a liability. You think Erika and Rinna and Dorit really care? I'm going to take Dorit out of it a little bit. I'm just going to say Erika and Rinna because I actually like Dorit on her own. I like Dorit without Kyle. I like Dorit without Rinna. I like Dorit without Erika. When it was just Dorit and Garcelle, I thought that was a cute kiki. I think the reason why Dorit and Garcelle even ever had a problem was because Rinna was in Dorit's ear the entire time last season and winding her up and then spinning her out to go against Garcelle. I don't think Dorit and Garcelle ever had a true problem. I think they only ever had a problem because Rinna was feeding Dorit all of this stuff, right? So yeah, I don't think Erika gives a flying F about if Sutton is a liability to Garcelle. How? Garcelle is actually, her money's legit. Garcelle is a good person. Garcelle has nothing to hide. She's a fantastic mother. She's a great actress. She's a good businesswoman. How is Sutton a liability to Garcelle when Garcelle has nothing to hide? Sutton is a liability to you, not Garcelle. But what they were trying to do was divide and conquer. If we can get Garcelle to go against Sutton, we can get Sutton out of here, because Sutton's the only one who's at, other than Garcelle, but I don't think they feel as threatened by Garcelle than they do by Sutton. Because Sutton will come with the receipts. Sutton will spend the money for the background check, for the credit check, for all of it, right? But I think Garcelle will say her piece. But I don't think Garcelle's doing background checks or talking to lawyers about it, right? So I don't think they feel as threatened by Garcelle when it comes to all of their fraudulent stuff than they do by Sutton. So I think that is what they were actually trying to say when they're saying, oh, Sutton's a liability. Sutton's a liability to their fraudulent behavior, not to Garcelle, right? Okay, let's see what you guys are saying in the chat box. Hey, Randa, she would have been going after Crystal. Who, Erika? They tried to go after Crystal, right? That they were dirty. They were dirty talking about Crystal's issues with, food and all of that stuff. That was dirty. And the only person who had Crystal's back was Sutton. And isn't it funny that the only person Crystal goes after is Sutton, and Sutton was the only one who actually had Crystal's back? She was like, maybe she is getting help. I don't really want to talk about this. I don't know. Like, Sutton literally, see, Garcelle and Sutton are the real ones. They're the real ones. Even though Crystal tried to bring Sutton down, Sutton was the only one who actually said, hey, you know what? Maybe we shouldn't talk about this. Hey, Misty, Lisa used her kids again in this episode. Exactly, talking about Crystal's issues with food. She threw her own kids under the bus. 100%. Hey, Jayla, nobody cares because she's exactly. You're talking about Erika and Diana and all their fraudulent stuff, and they get away with it because exactly. Hey, Misty, Sutton needs to stop trying with these ladies. Why keep trying to fix it with them? I think Sutton is just trying to, I don't think Sutton actually wants to be friends with them. I just think Sutton wants the target off her back. If that makes sense. Hey, Ivaka. She says, they can't ice Sutton out either. When Roni tried it, they fired everyone. That's why Roni is not back till now. Yep. They can't ice Sutton out. They can't. Sutton's a fan favorite. We love her. Garcelle's a true one. She's going to stick by her. I don't think they're going to be able to ice her out. I just don't. Hey, Miss T, Erika's completely show she's guilty of everything. Yes, she is. We'll say alleged, but allegedly she's guilty of every single thing and what kills me is that she has literally no remorse. And she's psychotic to the point where she actually tries to paint herself as the victim. I don't get it. Make sense. Hey, Miss T, what do you think about the ladies discussing Crystal without her? Dead wrong. That's another thing that they do. Exactly what I said. They get together. They decide who they're going to go after, what they're going to say, so that everybody is talking about somebody else rather than talking about their own stuff. Let's bring up Crystal. Let's bring up what's going on with her issues with eating, so we don't have to talk about what's going on in our own lives. And did you guys catch how Rinna's doing rosé? But yet she had all the smoke for LVP doing her own rosé. She had all the smoke for Lisa Vanderpump doing rosé, but now she's copying her. That, because Lisa is nothing but a jealous, envious, evil snake. You had all the smoke for LVP doing a rosé, and now you're doing a rosé? Yeah, now you're doing a rosé? Come on, Rinna. There's what out of all the types of alcohol in the world, or just beverages in general, you want to do a Rinna rosé? Why? Because you want to compete with LVP? You can't compete with LVP. You can't. I want LVP and Denise to come back. That is what I want. Hey, Randa, and Sutton doesn't have any skeletons in her closet. At least we hope so. It doesn't seem like it. Honestly, I think if Sutton had any skeletons in her closet, they would have come out by now. They would have come out by now. Because Rinna and Erika would have done everything in their power to bring some dirt out on Sutton. I don't think Sutton really, she doesn't seem to be hiding anything. You know what I mean? She seems genuine. Hey, Misty, Cotton carries the season with her questions. Why does she always apologize? That's true. She does carry the season with her questions. I think Sutton apologizes just to get it over. Like, I think she's just like, I'm here. I'm doing my job. It's fun. I'm sorry. Whatever. You know what I mean? I think she apologizes just to keep it moving. Like, let's just put a pin in it and keep it popping. But I do like how she went straight to Erika and was just like, why did you call me a liability? Say it to my face. Tell me, don't tell her. What's up? Let's talk about it. And then Rinna lost her little mind. You should get out of my house. No. I wish Sutton would have been, and Sutton did say it. She's like, oh, you're so angry. Like, oof, you're so angry, Rinna. Hey, Misty, I think they use Diana to go after Sutton. They don't really like or care about her either. 100%. The gag is none of these ladies really like or care about each other than Garcelle and Sutton. Let's call a spade a spade. They're all alliances. They're pacts. You keep my secret, I keep yours. The only loyalty, as we saw, is Garcelle and Sutton. The rest of the ladies, And that's why I say, I know publicly they call themselves the Fox Fierce 5, the Fox Fierce 4, but in reality, like not this public persona, in reality, the true pact is Dorit, Rinna, and Erika. Hey, Randa, what are you saying makes a lot of sense. Yeah, thank you. Hey, Misty, I like Dorit when she has a storyline, right? Yeah, like, I go in and out of liking Dorit. I do like Dorit in general, but not when it's this BS with her ganging up on everybody, with Erika, with her letting Rinna wind her up, with her being up Kyle's butt. You know what I mean? Like, I like Dorit when she was friends with LVP. I liked Dorit when she was hanging with Garcelle and stuff. That's when I like Dorit. But when she's just a puppet and has no storyline and is just whatever, come on now. Misty, only Fatim is running background checks. I gotta figure out who this Fatim girl is. I haven't watched Roa, and I don't have like the life in me to catch up. I just don't have the life in me. I mean, I have the life, but I'm not gonna spend it doing that. Hey, Misty, I wonder if Crystal will see the truth this season. Yeah. Well, okay. When it comes to Crystal is an ultimate pick-me girl. We've already seen that. She flip-flops. She goes with wherever the popular girls go. She creates storylines that she doesn't have any. So do I think Crystal actually thinks these women like her? No. Do I think Crystal has enough of a backbone to stand up to them? No. I think she knows the truth, but I think Crystal cares more about being accepted than she cares about standing up for herself. You know what I mean? Hey, Randa, I meant Cherie would do better trying to get Crystal's diamond instead of Sutton's. Yes. Yes, I agree with that 100%. Yes. Hey, Misty, Sheree is definitely trying for a diamond, but whose? Exactly. She should be go. I agree with Randa. She needs to go after Crystal's diamond because Crystal, to me, is diamond is the one that's slipping. I think Sutton's diamond is solidified. Sutton's carrying the show. Sutton is carrying the show. Could you imagine the show without Sutton and Garcelle? There'd be no show. Miss T, Garcelle was upset that Sutton brought it up to the ladies. Why was Garcelle upset about that? She was? I gotta go back and watch, but whatever. I'm happy she did it. Hey, Darren Hutch goes, hey, Candy Cane. That's right, you guys. If you're in here and you're one of my beautiful, sweet candy canes, drop your candy canes, like the video, subscribe, and share with a friend because a kiki is always better with community, and it really helps. It helps a girl out. So, yeah, I love you guys, and I hope you're enjoying. Baka says she needs to take Rinna's diamond. Rinna needs to go. Rinna needs to go. She's so toxic. Honestly, I feel like Real Housewives of Beverly Hills needs a whole overhaul. This might be an unpopular opinion, but I don't want Kathy back. I don't want Kim back. I don't want Kyle back. I think all the Hiltons can go. They all can go. Kathy can go. Kyle can go. Kim can go. They all can go. Rinna can go. Erika can go. Diana definitely can go. Dorit, maybe I'll give her one more season. I want Sutton to stay. I want Garcelle to stay. I want Dorit can stay to me, whatever. I want Cherie to get a diamond. And then I want Crystal can go. And then I want a new crop of girls. A new crop of women. Because what we're getting, like, sure, it's interesting and it's a good geeky, but, like, I don't want to see Erika on my screen. I don't want to see Diana on my screen. It's difficult to watch a woman have this opulent lifestyle that you know she got from exploiting people, exploiting children and other women. It's hard to enjoy watching Diana have the houses and the cars and the clothes and this whole life knowing that she got it from blood money. I'm going to say alleged, but it's out there. You know, you don't have people saying for years and years and years that you are supplying children and young women to men for money, and it's just one big lie. I'm sorry, no. Like, so it's really hard to, because usually I can sort of just like, you know, this is just escapism. It's fun. It's scripted reality. Who cares? Let's go have a kiki. Who's talking to who? Who's wasted? Who's blah, 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 blah. But I honestly feel like at this point, Bravo has a responsibility. And I'm really confused as to why, like, follow me with this. How can Bravo come out with a statement when Monique mollywopped, what's her face, Candace on Potomac? We at Bravo do not condone violence. When it's, you know, Monique mollywopping Candace, but Bravo has said nothing when it comes to the allegations that a person on your platform, on your show, has been pimping out and prostituting children and women for money. Sex trafficking, human trafficking, child trafficking. You have no statement, you have no position, you have nothing. That's why it's like hard, because it's like Diana makes my skin crawl and my stomach turn. I believe everything that is being said about her. This is my opinion. This is my opinion. I believe everything being said about her. Do I think Rinna was one of her girls? Yes. Rinna was in the book. Why are you in a book naked that's called Room 23 that is being published and created by a person who's known to pimp out women and children? So it's like, I don't know, like, how can Bravo justify that? How can you justify giving this person a platform, giving this person a check with this stuff going on? not to compare, but think about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, right? When, what's her name? What was the name of the girl? The Jenny. Remember Jenny? She was the other she was Asian, and it came out that she had all those like Black Lives Matter sort of like racisty Facebook posts, and Bravo fired her. Bravo, if you're firing people over Instagram and Facebook posts, if you're giving PR statements about Monique mollywopping Candace, how are you silent when it comes to Diana pimping out women and children? How are you silent when it comes to Erika defrauding victims, burn victims, orphans, and widows? How? So it's making me really look at Bravo even more crazily. Not that I necessarily believe, I'm not necessarily Team Nene, but there are a lot of people, Kathy Griffith, this other woman from Below Deck or whatever, and these other people are coming out and really talking about how grimy Bravo really is. And it's really making me like really squint, because when you really step back and think about what's going on, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. Okay, let's see what you guys are saying in the chat box. Darren says, I'm tired of Erika. Me too. Erika can go. She needs to go to jail. She needs to go to jail. Hey, Darren. Erika needs to go. Crystal, Dorit, Diana, and Rinna. 100%. And Kyle. Kyle can go. Go be on Netflix with your fraudulent husband. Miss T, Bravo loves watching ladies, especially when they are in legal trouble. Crazy. Hey, Randa, you know why? Conscious or conscious bias. Exactly. And it is cringy to watch Diana. It is. I'm like, I can't have a key. Even like, I don't like Diana in general, but particularly with everything that she's done, it's hard to be like, oh, look at all her stuff. When I'm like, oh, but I know how you got that stuff. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, I can't. Hey, Vaca, I think the show will finally get interesting when they go down in jail for these crimes. I hope so. Yes, Jenny Nowen, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Yes, Randa. Hey, Vaca, Candace is due for another Molly whopping too. We all know how I feel about Candace. Miss Candy. You know how I feel about her. Hey, Miss T, Lisa hasn't done anything this season. Dorit and fake PTSD. Diana tried the new villain and Erika. They're all full of nothing. Exactly. All full of nothing. Hey, Darren, Diana wasn't shown as much throughout a full season. Yeah, she definitely was not shown as much. I know the girls had C19, Kyle and Crystal and Diana this episode. I didn't miss them. I forgot they were even on the show, to be honest. I forgot. I didn't miss them. They can go. They can go. I want new girls on the show. Garcelle, stay. Sutton, stay. Cherie, get it together and get your diamond. I wouldn't even mind Dorit staying, honestly, without the others. Hey, Vaca, I haven't been watching because I'm not so interested with the ugly DD and lame fake storylines. Exactly. Miss T, Bravo will say allegedly for all crimes, but minorities can't get away with nothing. Exactly. Not to defend Faye, because of what I think Phaedra did was dead wrong, and I think she deserved to be fired. But if you're going to fire Phaedra for starting a rumor about Candy allegedly, bringing people to a dungeon and all that stuff, which what she said would have been a crime, would have been a felony, would have been the R word and all that stuff. If you're going to fire Phaedra for starting a rumor, how are you not holding Diana and Erika accountable? You can say alleged all you want, but there should be still some type of accountability, some type of statement, some type of stance, even that it's out there. You know what I mean? Yes, Diana is boring as hell. Diana is boring. do we believe this whole her and Asher situation? Like, didn't somebody say that Asher was also like an escort or something like that? Again, alleged. And then he ended up knocking her up and like sticking around so that she could. She was based. Yeah, this is also pimping yourself out. He's like a wannabe singer, and she was basically like his sugar mama, like supporting his singing career and all that stuff. And then he ended up knocking her up. This is another thing. She's 47 and had a baby at like what 45. Cheers to that. Not to her, but like, hey now, you know what I mean? But yeah, what else went on? Yeah, so the girls were dead wrong talking about Crystal. The only person who came to her defense was Sutton. What else happened? I loved Dorit and Garcelle's friendship. I thought that was really cute. Erika needs to be in jail. Yeah. And again, for anybody who's joining now, I'll give the quick cliff notes because I know everybody else heard it. But the real reason why I think Rinna and Dorit are having an issue with Erika's drinking is because they don't want her to get too sloppy and spill their secrets. I don't think they actually really care about Erika. And the whole liability thing with Erika saying that to Garcelle, again, they don't care about Garcelle. They think Sutton is a liability because they know that Sutton will go after their fraudulent activities and bring up their past. And Sutton has the money and the means and the receipts. When Sutton came in and was like, oh, I talked to my lawyers, Erika. When Sutton came in, it was like, oh, I have the email receipts. Rinna, you want to talk about I didn't pay for the table? Well, here's the proof. She put them on notice. She put them on blast. Like, listen up. You're not going to get over on me. You're not. I'm going to ask the questions. I'm going to bring the proof. I'm going to do the background check. I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. That they meant that Sutton was a liability to their fraudulent lives. Not that Sutton was a liability to Garcelle, because she's not. She's just a friend. Hey, Miss T, I definitely think Bravo uses all the ladies. However, they use minorities a lot more. Bravo doesn't care about any of them. Exactly. They really don't. They really, really don't. And this is another thing. I guess I hate when people say a victimist crime because I don't think that there is a such thing as a victimist crime. But like the fact that, and I'm talking about Teresa from New Jersey on this one. I am so confused on how the narrative about Teresa is that she's a survivor. You know, she went to prison and she came out stronger. You know, she's a survivor. She's been through so much. You know, Teresa has been through so much. You know, she went to prison and she came out and Joe and blah, blah, blah. She's a survivor and look how she bounced back. What revisionist history bullshit is this? She's not a survivor. She's a criminal. She knew her husband, again, alleged, but come on now. She knew her husband was a fraud. She knew he was a scammer. She knew she was a con artist. She knew that they were defrauding the government, city of New Jersey, whatever it was. She knew. And she signed on the dotted lines because she didn't care. She wanted the money. She wanted the houses. She wanted the cars. She wanted the lifestyle. She wanted the front. She was a criminal. That's why she went to prison. She's not a survivor of anything. She did a crime, she got caught, and she was held accountable. Why does she get the narrative of she's so strong? She's a survivor. She's been through so much. No, you committed a crime and you got caught and you went to jail for the crime you did. Teresa is not stupid. She's not a dumb person. She knew exactly what she was doing. But now she gets to come back on Bravo. She gets to be on the shows. She gets to write her books. She gets to do all of that, right? Why is it certain people, when they are criminals, are revered and they're survivors and they're a victim of something? But when other people do stuff, is anybody calling Apollo a survivor? Is anybody saying, oh, Apollo, you're so strong. You've been through so much. I can't believe you got through prison. Is anybody calling Apollo a victim or Apollo a survivor? What Apollo did, what Teresa and her husband did, different crimes, but same, category, that white collar crime, that like wire fraud, the faking the documents, all of that stuff. Does anybody have any sympathy for Apollo? Is Apollo a survivor? Is Apollo a survivor? No. Apollo is the butt of a joke. He's a black man who went to prison. But Teresa's a survivor. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's just, it's too much. It's too much. Let's see I know I went on a tangent, but spirit hit me. Miss T, stop talking about Diana's child groom. He is a singer. Miss T, how much are these ladies getting paid? How much are they selling their souls for? I mean, it can't be enough. Because they're still doing crimes. They're still being frauds. They're still having all of these fake, scammy businesses. Like, it can't be enough. It can't be enough. Hey, Randa, thank you. I've always felt that way about Teresa. Exactly. Everybody wants to blame Joe, but you can't be smart and dumb at the same time. Thank you. It wasn't Joe. It was them. It was them together. She knew what her husband was doing. And she was doing it right along with him. That's why she went to jail too. She was doing it with him. She's not a survivor. She's a criminal who got caught and was held accountable. Not a victim. You did the crime, you did the time. But for whatever reason, and we know why, she gets this different type of narrative. Oh, Teresa's so strong. Oh, she's a survivor. She's been through so much. No, you defrauded the government and you got caught and you went to prison. How is that different than anybody else who does a crime and get caught and goes to prison? Like, miss me with that. And she gets to come back and be revered. Get out of here. Miss T, facts on all the spouses know exactly what their partners are doing in the crime. Exactly. Like Coach Shaw. Can't nobody on this earth tell me Coach Shaw did not know what Jen Shaw was doing. But Coach Shaw was the real MVP. He was like, you know what? I'm not going to get my hands dirty. Let me pause being a lawyer. Let my wife go out here and do this fraudulent activity, bring home this money, while I'm still going to go out there, dip it and do it and bust it with whoever I want. Because clearly their marriage was struggling. But clearly he was taking advantage of all this money that she was bringing in. Coach Shaw, and it's the same thing you said. You don't get to be dumb and smart. You don't get to be a lawyer. You don't get to be really smart, but then act like you have no idea that what your wife is doing is illegal. You have no idea how your wife is bringing in millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars while you get to go play assistant coach. But you have no idea what she's doing. But he was smart because he didn't sign anything. His name isn't on anything. He never joined the business. Coach Shaw was playing the long game. He was playing the long game. He was like, let me put this little legal career on hold. Let me go play at being a coach. Let me go have my side pieces. Let me use all this money my wife is bringing in, but I'm not going to put my name on nothing. And you know why he played the long game? Because he's a lawyer and he gets it. And you know why he's not going to jail? It's because he knows the law. Unlike Mr. Tom Girardi, who seemed to be like a complete fraud the entire time, Coach Shaw said, not my name. So that's why Coach Shaw got to benefit from all of this fraudulent money, and that's why Coach Shaw is not going to jail. Because he's a good lawyer, and he knew how to keep his hands clean. But nobody on this planet can tell me he didn't know what his wife was doing. That's some straight BS. And I bet you he has a lot of money squirreled away. Because Coach Shaw, to me, he's a sniper from the side. The people who pretend, and I'm not saying all people who are kind, but there's a difference between being kind and nice. I don't trust a nice person. I trust a kind person. Nice people to me are very covert. Coach Saw pretends to be nice when I think he's a sniper from the side. That's why Jin's going to jail and he's not. Baka says Apollo survived ugly Fei. So yes, he's a survivor. Yo, Baka. Miranda says the narrative is based on whether or not Andy likes them. Andy loves Teresa, so he'll forever be held up by him and the network. Exactly. Tyrone is a survivor. No, y'all are clowning. Miranda said, you know whether you have a job or not. Why sign paperwork saying you have income so that you can get a mortgage? And if you sign it without reading it, then you are in fact dumb. Dun, 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 dun. Hey, Baka. Aha, Miss D. Exactly. Miss T, if Tom can still call and has no memory, anything is possible. Thank you. Thank you. Again, with the fraudulent. Again, alleged, my opinion. And obviously, no disrespect. Actually, like true respect and condolences to people who truly either are going through or have a family member or a friend or someone they love that is actually going through memory loss, Alzheimer's, if I pronounced that correctly, sorry if I didn't, Alzheimer's, dementia, all of that. That is such a truly traumatic and horrifying and just sad situation to go through when you watch the people that you love slowly slip away, or if you are that person who is slowly slipping away. Tom Girardi, fraud. Again, you guys know me. I don't believe in coincidence. I only believe in conspiracy. Timing's everything. The moment your scheme becomes not known, because I think everybody knew, lawyers knew, judges, executives, police officers, California State Bar, everybody knew he was a fraud. But when your fraud became public, because those are two different things. It's one thing for it to be known, and it's one thing for it to be publicized. Do I think Tom Girardi being a fraud and a fake and a phony was known? Yes. Do I think it was publicized? Only over the last couple of years. So once your fraudulent behavior became publicized, right? Then all of a sudden you have memory problems. I would too. Candy, you're caught. You've been frauding all of these victims. I don't know. Who's Candy? What? I'm confused. Huh? What happened? What? Like I would do the same thing. Please, miss me with that. Tom knows to get mad at, if Tom can call her and have conversations, just miss me with the whole thing. Miss me with the whole thing. Hey, Randa, Coach Sutton, on the other hand, is not dumb. Exactly. He effectively divorced Jen when she's locked up. Oh, yes. Oh, my goodness. The moment, Jen goes to Kling Kling or Karen Huger, Sing Sing, whatever. The moment she goes away, Coach Sutton is bouncing. He's bouncing. He's going to be divorcing her as quickly as Dr. Damon is going to be divorcing Dr. Heavenly the moment Alora steps foot on her college campus. The moment. Yes, exactly. Hey, Vaca. So Shaw just left Jen, put herself right under the bus. 100%. 100%. Is his name on anything? This is the thing. If his name was on anything, any account, any paperwork, any fake title, he would be having charges too. Because the federal government does not play, and they do their job. The fact that he has no charges means he really, really was smart, and he knew how to benefit from the crime without being implicated in the crime. And that's exactly what he did, because nobody on this planet can tell me he didn't know what she was doing. He did. He knew. But he was smart enough to benefit from the crime, but not be implicated in the crime. And that's why Coach Saw, to me, plays the nice guy. He's covert, and he's a sniper from the side. And I don't think he cares that his wife is going down. I think he's probably happy to get rid of her. Based on how they interact on the show, I think he's relieved she's going away. I think that he has a lot of money stashed away, maybe in somebody else's name, maybe in something else. I don't think he's gonna be needing for money. I think he was really smart. I think he knew how to benefit from the crime without being implicated in the crime. I think he has a lot of money stashed away. I think he has a side piece, male or female, maybe both. No shade to LGBTQIA, like absolutely no disrespect. I'm just saying what I feel. Because I don't get 100% cis vibes from him, and that's no disrespect. Hey, Joanne. Hi, Candy and the Candy Canes. Hey, sweetheart. Hey, Miss T. Coach was a liar and knows all the loopholes. Exactly. That's why I don't trust nice people. Mm-mm. You're nice. What are you hiding? Are you kind? Like that's kind of how I view myself. Like, I don't think I'm a nice person, but I know that I'm a kind person. And I do think that there is a difference. I think people who are nice, they're either trying to be liked because they don't believe that they're enough, or they're being nice so you don't look too closely at what they're actually doing. Whereas I think a kind person is just open and genuinely just, wants to hang out and have fun and have a kiki and has no like malice, and they're just, they're kind. It's a good time. It's a good vibe. It's a good energy. There's no ulterior motives. To me being kind is just like you just want to hang out and get to know. There's no ulterior motives. But to me, nice, there's ulterior motives there. Maybe not malicious, but just ulterior motives. Miss T, why didn't Coach help his wife do her stuff better? Because he didn't. This is the thing. He didn't help Jen because, one, I think he was already over the marriage, right? I think, like I can't be quoting Erika. The reason why I think Coach didn't help his wife is because I think that he was already over the marriage and not into her. And if he helped her and they ended up still getting caught, because it's only a matter of time usually, he didn't want to be implicated. Hey, Vaca, I love it over here with the candy canes, by the way. Yay! Thank you. Yes, and I love you, candy canes. That's right, you guys. If you're having a fun kiki, be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and share. Share with a friend, because a kiki is always better with community. Hit that notification bell so you can join us live when I go on my rants. Hey, Joanne, wasn't it 3 days earlier Tom was giving a speech at some school or something? Girl. And didn't they say he was, okay, I don't know what clients were dumb enough, but wasn't it also saying he was still seeing clients at the home he was in? I don't know what clients are still trusting him. Something like that. Anyway, yeah, it's all, like, this is the thing. I don't believe in coincidence. I believe in conspiracy. You know what I mean? Like, when the timing of something, I always squint and I'm like, who in the end benefits from this coincidence? That's the person who conspired to make it happen. Follow the money. Follow the benefit. Who benefits in the end when things like this happen? Who benefits in the end? That's the person who conspired to make it happen. And all the way to the end. Not in the middle, but all the way to the end. That's the person who conspired to make it happen. Randa, girl, stop talking about Heavenly, piece of work. Woof. Woof. Heavenly is a, I can't. Dr. Heavenly, I can't. I mean, evil to the core. Evil to the core. When you laugh and when she gets that nasty, evil look on her face, when she thinks or knows that she hurt someone else, that's how you know somebody is evil. There are people who project and lash out. They might say something mean or nasty in the moment because they're hurting or whatever. Okay, I get that. We've all been there. We've all been there. We're all human beings. I've done it. I'm not perfect, please. I'm a work in progress. I'm a human being. We've all have said something sometimes that have been wrong, nasty, and uncalled for. We've all done it. The difference is she gets pleasure out of it. And that's when you know somebody is psychotic and evil. When somebody gets pleasure out of hurting somebody else, that is when they are evil and psychotic and sadistic. And that is Dr. Heavenly. She enjoys hurting other people. And that's a scary and dangerous person. Hey, Misty, absolutely. Coach and Erika stayed married so they wouldn't have to testify against their spouse. Exactly. 100%. They think they're smart. I'm ready for Erika to go to jail. Can Erika go to jail yet? I'm tired of watching her. And also, can Diana go to jail? I want Diana in jail before I want Erika in jail. And before I want Jen in jail. I want Diana in jail. I want Diana in jail. Why are there no charges against this woman? Why? Why are there no charges against her? Is it a Jeffrey Epstein situation? Because her clients are, I'm just going to say it, because her clients are white and male and wealthy, she gets a pass? Why is Diana not in jail? You literally sold children and women, and probably men too. I'm not going to discriminate. You sold children, men, and women. You exploited them. You literally sold them. I can't. Missy, Coach was already halfway out the door. Coach is living his best life. Coach is like, Coach is living his best life. Living his best life. He was so fake and phony on that show. Babe, we're sitting, we have to get rid of the house so we can fight this. So babe, we can downsize so we can fight this, babe. I was like, Coach Shaw, you ain't fooling nobody. Coach Shaw down the street, dipping it and doing it with his side pieces. He doesn't care about Jen. And he doesn't care about downsizing because he doesn't really live there. When was Coach Shaw there? Please. Babe. Coach Shaw was so fake. Joanne, Coach Shaw, exactly. Hey, Randa, Coach Shaw went to law school and is trained in critical thinking. He knew that what she was trained to do couldn't generate the income to support that lifestyle, so he played his position. Exactly. 100%. Hey, Vaca, an evil doctor is Heavenly. Yup, she could kill people. Exactly. I wouldn't trust anything with Dr. Heavenly. Nothing. She is a scary, evil person. And when I say evil, I mean evil. And sadistic. What is it called? It's called sadomasochism, right? When a person gets pleasure from hurting other people, it's sadistic. And I think she is a very sadistic person. I think she is so empty inside. I think she hates herself so much that the only way she gets pleasure is by thinking that she has the power to make people feel as hurt and as hollow and as alone as she feels. And that's where she gets her pleasure from. She's hurting so much, she gets pleasure from making other people hurt. And that's why she's evil. I don't trust Dr. Heavenly. Free Dr. Damon. Free Dr. Damon. And if Dr. Damon is, and I don't condone cheating, but word on the street, he has his little blonde side piece at the office. Enjoy your life, Dr. Damon. Enjoy your life. Do you, boo-boo? Do you? Hey, Vaca, and why is that man with her? It tells a lot about a man who would marry an evil woman. I think Dr. Damon got trapped. I think she knew that he would stay if she had a baby, because she got pregnant and then they got married. I think it was like a shotgun wedding, I want to say. And then that's why I think he's gone the moment Alora goes to college. I think he's sticking it out until the kids are out of the house. I think people who marry or stay with evil people are two things. Either one, it's Bonnie and Clyde. You're just evil too. You're two evil people. You're two evil people, and you know you're both evil, and you're just being evil together. Or the second person, who is that more codependent, low self-esteem, low self-worth, because look at Dr. Damon. Dr. Damon doesn't really say anything. He's quiet. He drinks a lot, allegedly. I don't think Dr. Damon's evil. I think Dr. Damon got trapped. And he has the personality where he didn't see a way out. I don't think he had enough esteem or enough understanding that just because you knocked her up doesn't mean you need to marry her. But I think because of what he went through with his own childhood, his own abandonment issues, his own not having a father, I think that he let his own childhood trauma dictate how he is as an adult. So sometimes people go to extremes, right? Sometimes people who have abandonment issues abandon others. They repeat the cycle. And then sometimes people with abandonment issues go on the other extreme where they're completely dependent on somebody else and they have this codependent relationship. Or they think they have to go above and beyond, where it's like, no, Dr. Damon, you can be a good father to your children without being married to their mother. But I think because of his own childhood trauma, he never wanted to do that, which is why I think he is out. That's what you guys are saying. Yeah. Hey, Vaka. Yeah, and why is it just Ghislaine? Scapegoats. 100%. Because, like, I think Ghislaine is just as guilty as Epstein. But how come you're 100%? How come Epstein's clients aren't being prosecuted? How come the people who were sleeping with the underage girls and boys and underage children, let's call a thing, they're children. If you're 15, you're still a child. If you're 16, you're still a child. But some of the kids were 12, 13, 14. How come the people who were paying them for access, they were paying them for two reasons, okay? Let's break this down. Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine are being paid for two reasons. One, they're being paid to supply the young men and the young women. Actually, I'm going to call them. They're being paid to supply the boys and girls. Because I hate it when people call children women or children men. No, they're children. They're children. They're being paid to supply the boys and girls for sex to these high-profile people. Call a thing a thing. I don't even have to say. I'm going to say alleged. I don't have to since they've been found guilty and all this stuff. So, but let's just whatever. Where is the accountability to the people who were paying for it? So yeah. So one, they're being paid to supply, and two, they were being paid to keep quiet. So Jeffrey and Ghislaine had tapes. So they would have these parties. They would go to these islands and these mansions and these houses, and they would have all of these rich and powerful politicians and actors and celebrities and musicians and all of these, rich people come, and they would supply the boys and girls for sexual favors. And probably usually unbeknownst to them, they would be recorded. So it's like, oh, I have this thing I need funding for. You should give me some money for it. Or you should pay me this for it. You should pay me this for it. Because remember when you came to the house and remember you did this with that 10-year-old, that 12-year-old, that 14-year-old? Yeah, well, we have it on tape. So they were being paid to supply the boys and girls for sex, and they were being paid to keep the secret. Extortion, blackmail, usual. I'm going to pay you to keep quiet. How come the people who were violating these boys and girls are not being held accountable either? And I don't care what anybody says. I do not think Jeffrey Epstein took his own life in jail. I think he was taken out. So his secrets would go to the grave with him because he was probably going to sing. He was probably going to turn over more information. Like, what happened to the tapes, right? What happens to the tapes? What happened to the tapes of all of these powerful people violating young boys and girls? What happened to the tapes? How come there hasn't been a release of the names We know a couple of people because they've been in tabloids and they've been whatever, but how come there hasn't been a roster of these people? How come they're not being held accountable? If he has all of these tapes that he was using to extort money from these rich and powerful men, that's how he got his money. And he also got his money from the Victoria's Secret guy, but that's a whole other situation. That's a whole other topic about how he did that. If he had all of the evidence to extort money from these people, what happened to that evidence? If I have enough evidence to blackmail you into paying me millions of dollars, and now there's this whole thing, and now the police and the FBI and whoever have that evidence, that should be enough evidence to prosecute. How come nobody's being prosecuted? Because they're wealthy. I always say that word weird, wealthy, because they're rich, wealthy. A little speech impediment there. Sorry. Because they're rich, white, and male. I'm gonna say it. We gotta start calling a thing a thing. That's why they're not being prosecuted. They're too connected and they're too powerful. Because why else? It doesn't make what other reason is there? If I have enough evidence to blackmail you for millions of dollars for years, and now the government has that same exact evidence, it's not like the evidence got burned in a fire. Maybe they burnt it now, maybe they got rid of it. But if they have enough, this is the thing, if the government had enough evidence to go against Ghislaine and Jeffrey, they have enough evidence to go against their clients. Why are they not? You see what I'm saying? It's all connected. It's all conspiracy. Robbie Downer Jr. even came out and talked about the sex ring. It was like a Hollywood sex ring, like a big thing. I forgot what they called themselves. That Diana allegedly was like the ringleader of. Hey, Kamiko, what's up? Hey, Baka, it's because of her why they don't watch the show Married to Med. Yeah, she's ugh. Hey, Randa, Phaedra got fired for spreading a false rumor, as she should. Yes, exactly. Yet Diana gets hired. It's blatant double standard for me. Exactly. 100%. Hey, Joanne, please put Diana and Erika in jail now. Enough. Exactly. I need Diana in jail first because the children. Then it's a toss-up between Jen and Erika. I'll say Erika because she's just too much. And then Jen. But all three of them need to go. They all need to go. All right, you guys. We've gone on a fun tangent with this one. But it's been so much fun hanging out with you candy canes. And I will be back on in a little bit doing some hot topics. So if you want to join me for the hot topic, subscribe, hit the notification bell, like this video, comment below, and share with a friend. Because a kiki is always better with community. We'll be back a little bit later for some hot topics. I love you guys. As always, take care of yourself and each other. Remember, there is no such thing as a coincidence, only a conspiracy. All right, you guys, I love you. Bye.